Hello, true duelists. My name is Craig Fee, and welcome to the new card report. The last theme of Justice Hunters has been revealed, and at long last we know why the deck with a monkey girl is called Canine, and that's because of a dog. Man, and I don't mean Danger Dog Man, I mean we finally have a deck focused on a werewolf in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And all the dumb jokes I made about this being super secret a hot man deck instead of another hot anime girl deck are apparently true, making me both a prophet and a messiah and something else that could be funny to say at the end of this sentence. So let's get to anime boy deck number like 2 tops, we don't have many of those, and see what that exactly means for the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! By starting with anime girl number 1, because it's Yu-Gi-Oh! We're gonna have at least one of these and or a machine and or a dragon. That's right, K9 number 17 Izuna is a level 5 Earth Warrior with 2100 attack and 1600 defense, and 3 effects going on. If your opponent has 2 or more cards in their hand, this can be summoned without tributing, because making it a level 4 would have been too easy, and more accurately have invited horrific Ryzeal synergy or something to that effect. It can also special summon itself from the hand as a quick effect, but only if the opponent activated a monster effect in the hand or graveyard this turn. Either way, on normal or special summon, this can send any K9 card from the deck to the grave, except for a copy of itself. Now, Monkey Cop here has a gun, and some solid effects, and I just want to know why they're a Monkey Cop with a gun in a K9 deck. I'm just slightly confused. Either way, not very sure what the aesthetics are, but functionally it's good. Going first, you can always normal summon this, and going second, it can at least help you to extend past a hand trap if the opponent were to otherwise have their hand emptied for whatever reason. And it can even chump block by summoning itself on their opponent's turn if they've used a hand or grave effect to stall out the battle phase a little bit. Huh? It's Yu-Gi-Oh! So while I can't tell you exactly right now how this grave dumping effect will be good, I can promise you sending any card of your archetype from the deck to the graveyard is a good thing, because this is Yu-Gi-Oh! And the graveyard is simply abusable. K9 number 66A Jokul is so natural for me to say in my Anglo-ass speaking tongue, so however I meant to say that, whoops. The more important thing is this person can never bend their arms. What a tragedy. A level 5 Dark Aqua of all things, this has 2000 attack and 1900 defense. It can also be summoned without tribute if the opponent has 2 or more cards in their hand, and its actual effect is that it can reveal itself and one other level 5 monster in your hand to special summon them both, but neither will be able to be used as Xyz material for a light Xyz monster. And once per turn during the main phase, you can just add a non-Aqua Canine monster from your deck to your hand. So it's a self-summoning Stratos of sorts that doesn't lock you into anything except out of lights, and can summon any 5 alongside itself, even outside of its archetype. The only condition is, again, no light Xyz monsters. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's really, really good. I don't know of any generic level 5s off the top of my head, but I know of plenty generic rank 5s that this deck can make. Volcasaurus for spot removal and some burn damage in time, Shark Fortress for OTKs, Chronomaly Vimana for that monster negate you love, or even number 19 Freezedon to rank up into full armored Crystal Zero Lancer. No, wait. It's not 2014 and we're not playing in the OCG, scratch that last one. Still, easy access to just about any rank 5 that's not light is very good and very playable for a rank 5 deck. K9 number 66B Lantern could probably have like a Lamplighter reference if the boys was at all topical right now, and I can't think of anything to do with Invincible, so there you go. Amazon's 2 superhero shows are out. Shoutouts to me not being able to speak. This one can at least use its elbows, so that's a win. It's a level 5 Dark Pyro with 20,000 attack and 20,000 attack. Can you imagine? 2,000 attack and 1900 defense, and as the same can summon itself without tributing depending on the opponent's hand size. While it's in your hand, this will let you target a K9 monster in your grave, and then summon this from the hand and the target from the grave, but again, the 2 of them cannot be used as material for a light Xyz summon. And to make the pair really a matching set, this one can add any K9 spell or trap from deck to hand while it's on your field. This one's the extender that'll revive the other ones once you've detached them by the other effects, like namely T-Pose arms, who can't fucking bend her arms. Actually, again, just a very, very solid card, and a little more balanced by needing specifically K9 monsters and not any level 5, which is fine. There's no need for earth-shattering and insane levels of power is there? Is that coping? Possibly. Either way, this pair being able to add the cards from the deck to the hand once per turn makes them a little bit more easy to be abused than a typical Stratos, and they're both great for Xyz spam and Xyz deck. I'm not fixing it, Xyz monsters, so wow, both those cards are good. Truly, this is a revolutionary card design method. Nailed it. And then there's this card's name, Canine Lupus. How the fuck am I meant to say that? Is that double O? I don't know, I'm just sticking to... This is a level 5 Earth Beast with 2300 attack and 200 defense, and is the only main deck one without relying on the opponent's hand. Instead, it will rely on the opponent to use a monster effect in the hand or grave, like other ones have, and that will let you summon this from the hand or graveyard. But it will be banished when it leaves the field, so thank God for the Xyz mechanic. It also has a quick effect to immediately after it resolves Xyz summon using this card as a material, which is neat, and while it is a material, the Xyz monster it's attached to will be untargetable by the opponent's card effects. Everyone tells me that this guy is like super crazy mega hot, even though I think he's just emo, which I guess is some people's thing, to each their own. There are foolish target of the deck though, so that means that the monkey cop can go into a one-card Xyz of sorts, provided the opponent has used a hand trap that isn't in perm, since they need monster effects and not any card effect. I don't know how many Xyz monsters that super benefit from being summoned on the opponent's turn exactly, since all of the ones that I can think of off the top of my head are banned, like Azathoth, or that rank 8 DDD, which I don't think is banned, but isn't makeable in this deck, so who cares? I'm sure we'll see that the beast can come out in due time, though. It's a reoccurring material for the deck in an Xyz deck, turn after turn, which means that even if its name is... that's really not all that bad a card. K9 number 17, Ripper, is the teased card for the deck. A generic 2-material rank 5 Wind Beast Warrior with 2300 attack and 1800 defense, meaning it's got 200 more on each stat line once she goes mech mode. Nothing adds 200 attack and defense quite like Spy Kids 3D Game Over Power Armor, am I right? This has 2 hard once per turn effects. The first will let you detach an Xyz material to add any K9 card from your deck to your hand, and if the opponent used a monster effect at all this turn, it will also let you set a spell card from the K9 archetype that is a quick play from the deck or graveyard to your field as well. Saved the reading of that sentence. And when your opponent activates a monster effect in the hand or grave, this can quick effect attach a material to negate it. Now, notably, it does not destroy the monster effect that it negates, so they keep their Nibiru in hand for the next turn, I guess, but any deck can appreciate having Nib insurance regardless. This is, of course, the go-to Xyz for the Dark Attribute K9 monsters, since they can't make light monsters, and between the 3 of them, you can add 3 K9 cards from your deck to your hand and possibly set a 4th for unrelenting advantage over the opponent. That seems like it could be pretty good, doesn't it? And after all it's said and done, you get further hand trap insurance and dedicated hate to grave strategies in particular, because Konami just hates Phantom Knight. Or I play them and they're the only grave strategy I think about. Either or. I think this one's another good deck, guys. It's looking pretty solid, and I really hate that it uses a monkey to be good, because monkeys are fucking creepy as shit, dude. I hate those things. Monkeys fucking suck. K9 Hound is the forbidden light Xyz for half of the deck, except for when an emo and a monkey combine to make a werewolf. I've always wanted a werewolf deck, truthfully, ever since I tried to make a lycanthrope deck work in like 2009, which was unplayably bad. This is, however, somewhat playably good. A rank 5 light beast warrior with 2500 attack and 2500 defense. It'll need any 2 level 5s to summon. It's indestructible by battle and the opponent's card effects on the turn it's summoned, but you can still pop it with a Metal Foes card of your own if you're a fan of playing decks with absolutely no synergy whatsoever. The power is yours. It'll also gain 500 attack each time an opponent's monster effect resolves, which means he does get fairly beefy. And once per turn in the standby phase, you can detach a material to target 1 card on the field and banish it. It's actually nothing exceptional, I guess. Like, it looks sick as hell, don't get me wrong. I'm very glad they teased the stupid monkey girl, because that meant I had no expectations for this deck in regards to the way it looks, and now I get to enjoy how surprisingly dope it is. But it's just a guy that banishes in the standby phase, which is cool. because it's each standby phase and it's any card, meaning you can get rid of spell and trap as well. It just means that you don't really get to disrupt the opponent. If you make this on the quick effect opponent's turn using the main deck equivalent of this card, then you can get rid of one of their cards in your standby phase before your turn starts properly, so to say, which isn't terrible, but it's also nothing exceptional. Quick effect in the main phase to target and banish doesn't seem like it would have been out of line to me, but who knows? Lord knows that visually enough, it's cool enough that I'll be playing it regardless, even if his knee guard did become just a block after he became a wolf. Very confused what's going on there, but I'll allow it. He looks cool. And then there's Beast Mode. Canine EX Werewolf, no idea what's with the quotations in these cards' names, is a rank 9 Beast Warrior with 3,300 attack and 2,500 defense that needs any 2 level 9s as material to summon. This card can attack up to the number of materials it has in each battle phase, but it can still attack once if it has no materials, assuming I'm reading this card's effect correctly, which I am. And it has a quick effect that activates when the opponent activates a card or effect to detach a material and do one of 2 things depending on whose turn it is when it's activated. If it's used on your turn, it will banish 1 card from the opponent's field and or 1 from their grave as well for some very nice Cheng-Ying reference action. But if you use it on the opponent's turn, it will instead look at the opponent's hand and banish 1 card from it face up until the end phase for some pseudo Psyframe Lord Omega-esque action. And of course, that is a hard once per turn either way. First off, why is the main deck a beast, but this one isn't? Why can't the main one be Beast Warrior and this one's just... I think that would be more appropriate to me, at least thematically. I also do love that you can simply choose to not banish something from the graveyard if you use the effect on your turn, in case the opponent has like the most stacked Malice grave imaginable or something. The varied function is always interesting to see and allows for a more interesting kind of gameplay, even if hand ripping with perfect information accompanying it is kind of fucking insane. It lets you know what to negate after all, or if you're just completely fucked and the opponent opened the nuts. Still, it's better disruption than in the standby phase, which makes Beast Mode an upgrade I like. I just really suck when they make a... It's true. It really sucks when they make a boss monster that's the big version of something else, but the boss sucks because it's too, like, contrived and hard to get to. It always annoys me. It's kind of like how I annoyed my friends when I did the Fuecoco Community Day this past weekend, when I kept looking at my phone and saying it seemed to be infected with some kind of Fuecoco-based technology, which is a sentence that's been in my head for like 4 days now, and it won't go away. I don't know what's wrong with me. Canine LC Liberation is a quick play spell that you can set off the Monkey Girl Xyz, which is appropriate since the artwork shows Madame Monkey doing a sick throwback reference to the iconic 3D animated show REBOOT. You gotta hit the button when you say it, really. This is a neat little card because it'll let you target any Canine Xyz or any rank 5 Xyz monster you control, and then summon a Canine Xyz monster with a different name from that target from your extra deck, transferring its materials to the new monster as is tradition for this type of effect. And while it's in your graveyard, at the end of the battle phase, if your Canine monster battles this turn, you can just set it back onto your field. It doesn't even banish itself when it does that. Most cards would, but I guess we're finally in 2025 for card design. Not that it's really a problem, since this at its worst will get you a negate of a hand trap or a grave effect, or possibly a hand rip, but the hand rip is itself a hard once per turn, so it's not quite as cancerous as it possibly could be, which again might just be copium. This is of course how you get out your rank 9, since you're not summoning it organically in this deck ever, and it also lets you use the robot arm twins to eventually get to the rank 5, since the light one can't be summoned using them, but they can still be materials for a light Xyz. They just can't, while on the field, be... You know what I'm saying? Do you follow the logic? I sure hope so, because this communicated it accurately, right? Everyone understands the full card effects and how they work now. That's just how hand signals work, and if not, then what the fuck are Italians doing? Either way, you can get it off the Xyz Monkey Girl, which means that there's just more room to have engines and non-engines and hand traps in your deck, since you can get it, you can reset it, you only need the one, and then you're having fun. So thanks to Konami, you clearly tried to make this one at least somewhat playable. Canine EX Forced Liberation is... what a name. I'm liberating you by force, and now you're a furry. or at least that seems to be the case based on the artwork. And if you liked one Xyz quick play swap spell, why not have another? This also targets a Canine Xyz, and then will special summon another Canine Xyz from your extra deck by using it as a material, but this one will then let you pop an opponent's card as well. And it has the same effect in the graveyard, sending itself back to your field at the end of the battle phase if a canine monster battles. They do each have a purpose in that the first one can target any generic rank 5, and that's about it, or any canine, and then this can only target canine specifically, but to make up for it, you can then also pop a card, which means there's 2 potential pieces of disruption by, say, going into Beast Mode rank 9. It does, of course, require you to get your really good Stratos Xyz on the field that can set it from the deck, which I say jokingly because that's hardly a requirement. That's what you're going to want to be doing anyways. So it's kind of the better going first tool, and also better art-wise because fuck the monkeys, fuck the cop girl, I have a gun too, the wolf is way fucking cooler. And last up for the deck is Canine Experimental Liberation. What, we're gonna liberate you for now, but if we don't like it, it's right back to Suppression Con? Or we force liberate you and you get called a furry on the internet? What the fuck's going on, dude? This is a normal trap card for the deck that will summon a canine monster from your hand or grave, and will then let you Xyz summon a Canine Xyz from your extra deck by using that monster as material, but your newly summoned Xyz monster will be destroyed at the end phase of the next turn. This card can also banish itself from the grave during the end phase to target a quick play canine spell in your grave and then set it to your field. Now that second effect's kind of pointless since the spells already reset themselves, but I do see what's going on here. This will let you set it during your end phase, which means that the spell card will be able to be activated on the subsequent turn. And since at the end of the subsequent turn your Xyz monster will blow up, you can use your newly set spell to swap out to a new Canine Xyz, which then won't blow up, so you're getting around the trap's own little drawback of sorts. It can also easily get you to the bonus destruction of Forced Liberation one more time, which, my god, what a sentence. It doesn't seem super good, but it doesn't really seem all horrible either, so wow, a mediocre trap card, just for a change of pace. All in all, this deck seems pretty good. All 3 of the decks actually from this pack seem good, which is not common for deck build packs, I don't think. And by saying I don't think, I of course mean I know. It is funny that half the monsters in this deck don't let you summon half the rank 5s of this deck, but I've seen people point out it's to stop the rampant abuse of number 67 Paradise Smasher, which is a card that I was reminded of because it simply doesn't let one of you play, is cancerous as shit, but it requires, I think, 3 materials. So by locking 2 of them out of lights, we're at least spared from that, unless someone forces summoning it into this deck, in which case just you wait to see how fun that card is. Self-deck lockout because of poor designed cards from 7 years ago aside, however, the rank 5 pool is respectable and at least offers some amount of varied gameplay besides facing Abyss Dweller for the 14th year in a row. I do like that it's at its best as a deck when the opponent is interacting with it, because outside of Imperm, any hand trap means that the deck can further extend and go off. That might actually suck horribly once I'm the one playing against it, but it just means that I'll have to Imperm the Monkey Xyz and then nib their board. What, you aren't opening the exact pair of hand traps every game for every situation? Sounds like you suck at Yu-Gi-Oh, dude. Try getting better sometime. The takeaway from all of this is, of course, that Konami are pathetic for making the man into a whole-ass wolf, but leaving the anime girl as another boring anime girl. Commit to the bit and at least make her more beast-like, you fucking cowards, okay? I hate monkeys, but at least have the balls to let the girls go beast mode too, god damn it. Although we might get that since there is still one more card to be revealed for this deck in this set coming in the coming weeks, so we'll have to wait and see and judge. But Justice Hunters might truly be one of the better deck packs that this game has seen, which is exciting if nothing else. And so that wraps it up for this new card report, just covering these new Justice Hunter cards in this video. The update will be out on Friday as always. Until then, I've been your host, Gregory Feganite. Oh yeah, that's right. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Doing so will not only impress your smoking Italian wife, but you'll become a true duelist. And as they say, maybe one day she'll stop smoking and simply be an Italian wife. But there's only one way to find out, and that's by liking and subscribing. So get on it, and just remember, my name is Craig Fee, and I have a gun.